Have you ever wondered, how can I pray for my family members? Maybe you have kids that you want to pray for, or a spouse that you want to pray for, or maybe you have long distance relatives that you're praying for. How do we pray for our family members? My name is Andrew, and today we're going to ask that question and look at some ideas about how can we pray for our family. While I'm recording this video for you today, this week is my wedding anniversary with my wife, Lauren. And it got me thinking, when I was thinking about our anniversary and thinking about this video, how do I pray for my family? How do I pray for my wife? And I'll say that one of the greatest honors and responsibilities that I have is to pray for Lauren. And there was a time early in our marriage where I was thinking about our relationship, and I was thinking about both of us following Jesus, and I realized something, that I cannot change or control Lauren's faith and her relationship with God. That's her personal relationship. But the greatest thing that I can do is I can pray for her. I can pray to the Father for her needs, for her desires, pray for her faith to grow, that I can be an influence and a support to my wife by praying for her. Now, you may not be married like me, but you may have some family members that you want to pray for. How do we pray for those people? I want to give a thought that I encourage you to think about and to reflect on. Your prayers have the power to influence the spiritual atmosphere over the lives of your family and friends. Your prayers have the power to influence the spiritual atmosphere over the lives of your family and your friends. What do I mean by that? Well, what I mean is, we cannot control somebody else's life. We cannot make someone else's decisions, and we can't make them do what we want. Of course not. But what we can do is we can pray that God will be present in their lives. We can pray that God will influence the spiritual atmosphere of our friends and our family. We can pray that God's presence will cover our children and our spouses. We can pray that our family members who don't know Jesus, that God's presence will make himself known to them and he will draw them into relationship. And so here's the advice I want to give. Number one, when you're praying for your family, make a list. I brought something to share with you. This piece of paper right here has some names of people who are very close to me in my life. On here are the list of some of my best friends and, of course, some of my family members. And I keep this list near my Bible. And each day I'll look through this list and I'll pray for the lives and the faith of my friends in my family. And so my first piece of advice right now is to get a list. Maybe you can make the list on your phone, you can write it out on paper like I do, but keep this list in a place where you'll see it each day. Make a list of your children, your spouse, your relatives, anybody in your family that you're praying for. Just write down their first names. And my second piece of advice when you're praying for your family is to listen. Listen as you're praying. Here's what I mean by that. When I pray for my family, I have a list of some names right here on this piece of paper. And when I look at their name, before I say anything, before I pray anything, I just ask God. I say, Father, how do you want me to pray for this person? So if I'm praying for Lauren, my wife, I'll say, God, how do you want me to pray for Lauren today? And I'll just listen. And usually, God will prompt my heart and my mind with a phrase or even just a word like peace or courage. And I'll just make a note on the piece of paper next to that person's name. I'll write, for Lauren, I'm praying for courage today. And I'll just pray simply, God, give Lauren courage. Provide her with the courage that you have for her. Just a simple prayer like that. So each day that you're praying for your family and those close to you, make a list of their names. And then first, listen. Ask God, how can you pray for them? God has put you in your family for a specific purpose and a specific reason. Your prayers can influence your family. If you're a parent praying over your children, your prayers are going to influence the future of your children. Maybe you're a son or a daughter praying for your parent. Your prayers have power to influence and shape their faith. Whatever relationship you have in your family, God is using you right where you are to pray over those who are close to you. Recently, my wife and I, we were talking about our future and our family. And one thought that we've begun to talk about is that one day when we have kids, we don't have kids right now, but one day when we do have children, we want our children to remember their parents praying with each other. If there's one thing that I want to pass on to my children someday, is I want them to know that their dad and their mom prayed together and they prayed for each other. That's one of the greatest gifts that parents can give to their children, and praying for your family is a great gift that you can give to your family and those who are close to you. Well, today I hope that this video has been encouraging to you. I hope that you've learned something today, and if there's anything that I or one of the pastors at our church can be doing for you, please let us know. Also, remember to subscribe to this channel so that you can see more videos like this each week.